Okay, try again. I've tried filming. This is the third time now, and I've not had the microphone switched on. So stupid of me. Right, microphone's on. So you'll have to bear with me. The sun is on my face, and I've done the best I can, but I also really don't want to complain about the sun because it's been raining since I can remember. It's been raining for weeks. We've had so much rain. So I'm actually just really pleased to have the sun out and a nice brighter day, or morning at least. I don't know how long it's going to last. So I'm not going to complain about it. It's Friday, so it's food shop day. And I popped to my alarm to get some milk and some mincemeat and some eggs. I have come to Waitrose, and I'm really hoping I don't regret this. I haven't told the husband that I'm planning on doing this, but it is my week to pay for the food shop, and a lot of what's on my list is veggies and meat, and I try and buy organic veggies as much as possible, but to be honest, I don't trust Tesco organic. It's not a proper certification. They kind of get to make up their own rules, and yeah, it's a little bit more corrupt than people might think it is. So you're paying all this extra money for probably not a lot of difference. So I've come to Waitrose, but again, quite naively, I haven't really done any research on Waitrose organic, so I don't know the background into Waitrose organic. I'd like to think it's better because it's Waitrose, but is that really naive of me? I don't know. But what I want to do is I really want to see the price difference. So I've kept some receipts recently from Tesco's, and I'm going to do my shop in Waitrose, and I'm going to just see what the difference is and compare, think about cost, but also the quality. I'm going to go for it, and yeah, I'll do a little comparison. Very exciting. I'll catch you in a bit. Continually forgetting to turn on the microphone today, which is not good. Alright, luckily I remembered now before I actually started talking to you. I'm not even looking at you. Hello, hi. Just making a matcha. Got home, I've been out since 9, it's 20 to 1, and that's essentially just been food shopping and getting my tattoo removal done. I just don't know where the time goes. I did a detour to Waitrose, where I never shop, and that is quite far out the way. So if I were to do that every week, it would be quite a trek. So I'm not going to do that every week. But it was interesting. It was really interesting. Do you know what? Getting this kettle where there's no plug-in has been so good. I'm so glad I did it. We've got no horrible wires. It looks nicer. It's not plastic. As soon as you start getting rid of plastic and removing plastic in the kitchen, you realise the difference. It does. It makes a huge difference when you start removing plastic. So I'm making some matcha here. Now matcha, I know I've mentioned it, but controversial. Some people say you can't have it on the AIP diet. Some say you can. And I've done my research and I am having it. I think some people think you can't because of the caffeine levels, and they think you can't have caffeine, but it's not necessarily caffeine, it is more coffee, I believe. So some people say you can have black tea, green tea and matcha on the AIP diet. Now, I mentioned before, I've given up caffeine before, and I did it for a good 9 months, and I needed caffeine again, and I'm not giving it up again. I know it's not a trigger for me. Like, I know that for a fact. If anything, not having it's a trigger for me. So the way I make this is, because I'm not having any milk, it's not a matcha latte, is I've put my matcha powder in my matcha bowl. You use a sieve, and I've got a little spoon, and you just sieve it in. This is to do it the traditional way. Part of it is a meditative practice. This is no different to someone that's really into their coffee and loves their coffee, going getting like a lovely coffee machine, and you know, when you're particular about how you grind the bean and all of that. This is kind of similar to that, so no judgment here. Then you have to boil your water, but then you have to let it cool. I can't remember the exact temperature. I don't measure the temperature. I just wait for it to cool. So 60 millilitres. So I've marked it on my little measuring jug. And then you can top it up with up to 125 millimetres, they say. You know, you do what you want. Add more water, add less water, whatever. I don't think the water's going to make a massive difference. When that's cooled a bit, I will get my whisk out, which is currently soaking in water. I do actually need to get a new whisk about now. And this mug, one of my best friends got me for, was it Christmas or my birthday? I think it was part of my Christmas present, which was really sweet. It's from John Lewis. This for me is like the perfect matcha mug, so I'm so pleased with that. It's probably like a good flat white size. I'm going to be one of those influencers now. Wait. You've got to get up close to the camera. You're all influenced. Tell me you're influenced. Oh, there it is. My Waitrose shop. Honestly, my overview. Probably leaning towards not worth it. I do need to do a bit of research into the difference between Tesco organic and Waitrose Dutchy organic. So all their organic foods is Dutchy organic. It does have a link here so you can discover more about Dutchy organic. That's what I need to look at. It says organic for life, real ingredients, vibrant flavours, thoughtfully farmed, good, honest food. When you buy Dutchy Organic, you're supporting environmental, educational and humanitarian causes. Each year, sales from our brand contribute an estimated £3 million to the King's Child III Charitable Fund, with over 50 million raised so far. Okay, but game changer. I've just spotted Soil Association Organic Certification Stamp. Wow, I'm surprised they don't put that on the front, because I didn't see that on the front and I thought, not too sure how good this is. It is on the back. Now I'm not sure. Now I'm really torn. The only thing I would say is it cost more. It definitely cost more. But I did buy a steak because I'm going to have a steak tonight. Cooking just for me. Sorry, husband. Do you know what? It was better than Tesco's. It was definitely better than Tesco's. Okay, this is probably cool enough, so I'm going to do this. I just thought I'd show the sourdough bread that I got from Waitrose in the fresh bakery section. So it's their fresh sourdough. I have already cut it in half. It's white sourdough, that's the only thing. There wasn't a wholemeal one there, and I prefer to buy like a wholemeal, a brown sourdough. But that's okay, it's better than the pre-packaged sourdough. I actually think this is such a nice sized sourdough, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I've cut it in half and then I'm going to slice it, and then I put it back in the paper bag that I got it in, and I will pop that in the freezer, and then you can just grab the slices you want as you want them from the freezer. Now, I'm not going to be eating this because of the AIP diet, but I bought this for Jimmer. And you can probably just see here, I've got this package of parsley, flat leaf parsley. I bought it last week. It's dated to the 26th of January. It's still okay. Today's date is the 30th of January though, so, you know, but you can see it's okay, but it's about to turn. It's literally on the edge of turning. And it says it on the back, the herbs can be frozen. Chop into ice cube trays, add a little water and freeze. To use, just pop the whole herb ice cube into your dish. So I'm actually going to freeze this. I think that's such a good idea, and I don't really know why I haven't done that before. Please tell me I'm not the only person that just doesn't read all of the jargon on the back. I'm going to chop up my parsley. I've chosen this ice cube tray because I don't want a small amount, I want a good amount. So I'm going to give this a go. I just don't know how much water to put in it. It says put some water in, but I'm guessing you don't make whole ice cubes because that's a lot of water that you're then putting into your dinner. I'm not sure. Right, we'll see. We'll see. Right, will this be small enough? Right, let's see. Perhaps I should suggest, if you're not interested in the price differences and the sourcing differences of food between Tesco and Waitrose, just skip this next bit because I'm literally just going to be talking about my analysis of my Tesco's shops versus my Waitrose shop. Parsnips, if you're interested in parsnips, keep listening. This is quite sad, but I've just spent my time taking my Waitrose shopping list, writing it up, and then putting in the Tesco equivalents. And it's been quite interesting. So I could start with the prices, but I feel like I should perhaps start with the difference in the organic certification. As far as I understand from what I can see online, the Waitrose Dutchy Organic, they're quite transparent about their farmers, and that includes animal farming and food farming. Or I've also noticed on the back of some of their produce, they've got Soil Association certification. So that's quite significant too, because it's quite a trustworthy certification for organic. I'm not going to pretend that I'm really scientific about it all. But I know Soil Association quite well. I've known them for years. I have looked into them before. I just couldn't regurgitate stuff. So if you're interested, have a look. I have even worked with them before. So yeah, I do quite trust Soil Association. Waitrose in organic is quite good. It says on their website, our organic food means no pesticides, kinder farming and better animal welfare, plus great tasting produce. And then it shows their carrot producer, their chicken farmers, fruit growers. Sometimes it can't all come from British all year round. I think it's best to support British as much as possible. And having a look on Waitrose website, they do support British. I did notice on quite a few of the products I bought today, it said they come from other places, other countries. However, we are in January. It's the 30th of January. I mean, what can you expect? So yeah, within reason. I think Waitrose Dutchy, to me, it looks quite reasonable. If anybody has any information on there that I don't know, then please fill me in. Tesco Organic, a healthy, sustainable diets fact sheet. No. Oh, this is just, what are you searching for? I'm searching for organic. Tesco Organic Food Growth, February 2017. What date is that? 2016. That's even worse. So not much transparency there. If I click on sustainability, yeah, there's not much on organic. British agriculture's biggest customer. Let's get to the juicy bit. Like I said, I took my Waitrose list, and then I've used my Tesco receipts to also help me, but I've gone on the website for both supermarkets and got a lot of information from there as well, just to make sure what I'm inputting is accurate. If I were to buy what I've got written down on here, the total of my Waitrose shop would come to £121.92, so nearly £122. My Tesco shop would come to £110. However, I am getting more for my money with my Tesco shop based on these figures. For example, frozen sweet potato. So I like to buy the sort of cubed frozen sweet potato, and Waitrose don't. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, sorry. Don't know where that came from. Frozen sweet potato in that chopped up chunks. Waitrose doesn't sell that. Gutting. I haven't got that in my Waitrose list. That's £1.25 from Tesco's for 600 grams. Apples, for example, Pink Lady apples, £2.90 for a pack of 6 from Tesco, £3.35 for a pack of 6 from Waitrose. However, neither of these are organic, and reading on their website, Waitrose like to support, they've made it transparent how much they like to support British. It would be interesting to look on these packets and see what the origins are. Here are the Waitrose apples. Here's one of the Tesco apples. Oh, this is interesting. Tesco's British Pink Lady apples sold in Kent, UK. £2.90 for them. Waitrose sold in Kent, from Kent, grown in Kent. These are grown in France, not British. So I've got myself some French Pink Lady apples here for 45 more p. What's that 45 more p for? The cost of importing them. When the week before I bought a perfectly good Pink Lady apple from Tesco, that's from Kent. Wow. Orange easy peelers. I've just got to do a bit of maths. So 600 gram pack of easy peeler satsumas, £1.60 from Waitrose and £2.50 from Tesco's. But the Tesco ones they're like the Tesco finest. So I know when I was looking on their website, they had some for like £1.19. Sometimes I buy them, sometimes I buy the Tesco finest. So do you know what? I can't go through everything, can I? I can't go through everything. A bag of 5 limes. This is not organic or anything like that. They're all going to be coming from abroad, obviously. But £1.18 from Tesco versus £1.60 from Waitrose. The same with the lemons. The lemons were more expensive. In terms of the organic food, wheat germ lettuce, the cherry or baby tomatoes, red pepper and carrots, all organic. Tesco's cost £6.75 versus Waitrose cost £7.90. However, we know with Waitrose, the organic's more reliable. Is it worth spending that £1 extra for good organic? Parsnips. So Tesco don't sell any organic parsnips. Waitrose do, but the price difference is significant. It's a hard one. I'd expect them to both be grown in the UK. I'm going to grab the parsnips and check. Yeah, the parsnips are definitely British, organic. That is really hard because the price difference is significant. If I've got this right, 500 grams. Oh, surely not. That is a significant price difference. I'm going to have to think about that. Going to have to think about the price of my parsnips. Sweet potatoes. So Waitrose sell organic sweet potatoes. Tesco don't. So very similar situation to the parsnips. Price difference is quite significant as well. Very similar to the parsnips. Organic kale, spinach, leeks and asparagus totals £8.25 from Tesco and totals £9.10 from Waitrose. So you're paying about just under £1 more for more reliable, more trustworthy organic. Okay, then there's a number of things on here that weren't organic in either, and they just generally are more expensive at Waitrose. You're just adding on the price to buy at Waitrose. Wild Rocket, for example, for the same bag of rocket, it would be £1.50 from Tesco versus £1.80 from Waitrose. You know, you're just adding on little bits, and that's all going to contribute to the total cost. Again, avocados, more expensive from Waitrose. I've got it noted down that the cod and the salmon is more expensive from Tesco's. Generally, whenever I look at the packaging on the meat and the fish, the sourcing of that fish or the growing conditions for the chickens is a lot more reliable and trustworthy and better for the animals and the environment. I'm really tempted to place a shopping order with Waitrose to get my meat and fish and organic vegetables because the price difference isn't that significant and it's kind of worth it for what you're getting. But when it comes to just my normal bag of rocket, my normal Cavolo Nero, that's not normal. I shouldn't pick that as an example. My normal red onions that just... Tesco do actually buy a lot of British, so I'm inclined to go with them on just all the other stuff. I do think it's worth paying the extra for the meat and a lot of the organic veggies. I'm going to stop that there, probably sort out some things, and gonna have steak tonight. Gosh, it's 5 to 6. How is that the time? I just don't know where the time's gone. Crazy. All right. Catch you in a bit. I just had to grab the camera quickly because I never buy and make myself steak. It's a Friday night treat. I put some cinnamon on my sweet potato, made sweet potato fries, and then I've got some wilted spinach under there, and then some asparagus, and then like an AIP friendly chimichurri sauce. I don't know how you pronounce that, so I hope it's good. I might actually taste it before I put it on my food. So it's currently Tuesday morning on my week 3, and I haven't filmed much this week, so I just thought I'd show you my breakfast because I thought it looked quite yummy to me. So I've just got some chicken that I cooked the other day, and I've got an avocado, mixed lettuce leaves, and a medley of sweet potato and carrots that I've just got a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and a pinch of salt over the top. The lighting is a bit rubbish, but it's raining again. Record-breaking rain. Is that the right phrase? It's been a record-breaking consecutive number of days of rain down here in the southwest. Joey is allowed to have that. This is why I can't keep the sofa nice, because it's theirs. I'll try and make the cushions nice, but give it not even a day, give it a few hours, and it will be a mess, because that's just the way it goes in this house. Might just try and can I bring you closer? Okay. Got to match her. It is 1 o'clock, and my main goal today was filming. I've got both dogs either side of me. Oh, you can have yours, there you go. A black and white one, Bertie. I think he's a bit sad because his dad's gone out without him, and he went in the pickup truck, so I think Bertie thinks he's been left behind. Oh, I also think he wants to go out for WALK. It is the final day of week 3 of the AIP reset that I've been doing. And I've not really gotten on the camera that much this week, just because it's just been really busy as always. And I think I just kind of wanted to do like an overall review, summary, check-in. That's the word. What has been happening? Not a lot, really. I did find it hard having inspiration for meals this week. At the start of this week, I couldn't be bothered, quite frankly. I couldn't be bothered to be imaginative. I couldn't be bothered to cook new things. So I just went simple as I could and repeated some easy recipes that I'd already done. So I haven't really adventured out, and to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to, because the meals that I've got just work for me, and I'm getting plenty of variety within them. So I think I'll just keep it as it is. I mean, a couple of staples seem to be this 1-pan chicken thigh dinner. It's really easy to cook. Just some staple foods seem to be spinach, avocado, sweet potato, chicken, mincemeat. Yeah, they're pretty much key food. Some of my favourites, which has really surprised me, has been parsnips and Brussels sprouts. Like, really weird, but I love them. I'm obsessed. So, and what's really great about Brussels sprouts is you can buy a humongous bag in the freezer section in the supermarket for like £1. This is Tesco at least. Yeah, so you get all these Brussels sprouts. So it's so cheap, and it's such a great staple, I think. And that's weird because I always used to be really weary of Brussels sprouts, because I always thought that they would make me fart loads. I don't know, probably just those scary stories, and like they do make some people fart. But that's not happened. They're fine. They are fine. I don't know why. Yeah, they are absolutely fine. So I've been having them. At the start of the week, like I said, I think where I was having trouble with inspiration, I was also just struggling to like keep going with this, because you do have to pretty much cook every single meal. You can't just simply grab cereal and go. But I don't think it's normal. I actually don't think it's normal to be able to grab food and go. Like, grab and go food is just a recipe for inflammation and not feeling good and cravings and snacking and just continual eating bad. So yeah, it's forced me to keep eating healthy and not fall back. Like, I used to, you know, I was eating healthy, like nutritional sort of good recipes I was making at home about 90% of the time last year. But on a rare occasion when you just don't have the time, that's when we'd slip and grab a pizza from the supermarket, which I knew was really bad and I knew was once in a blue moon, and I didn't like doing it. But it just, time-wise, sometimes you just do need that quick food. So I've had to get used to getting through that, getting past that, and keep persevering. Been fine and got through it, and towards the end of this week I started to feel a lot better again, a lot more energy, and I think because I've worked out what my staples are and what my easy to go to foods are, it's a lot easier to even do the food shop and think of what we're going to eat the following week. It's currently Sunday the 8th of February, so it's technically 3 weeks since I ate cake today. So end of my 3rd week. Yeah, bloating's a lot less. And I think what I was a bit nervous for this week, so in terms of my running, the previous week 2, it was that time of the month and I just crashed. I completely crashed, which was really similar to the month before. Yeah, really similar to the time of the month before, but worse. And, you know, they were saying online, I did read a lot to sort of pre-warn that things might get tougher before they get easier. So when you're doing the AIP 30-day phase 1, where you've just restricted all your food for 30 days, when you have your time in the month during those 30 days, it is really common for that to feel worse. So the massive crash in energy, you know, it wasn't unexpected. And to be honest, to have that at the same time, I had like a niggle in the back of my leg, and I was reading online and everybody said rest for a week, and I really didn't want to. So it actually all worked out for the better, because I was forced to rest for a week basically, and that made my leg feel a lot better. It's basically just tight muscles. I just need to foam roll a lot more and make sure I'm stretching plenty enough and just warm up and cool down properly. I'm not bad with warming up and cooling down at all, but stretching, like properly stretching, not just a quick cool down, but having a proper stretching session and foam roller session more regularly, I think is what I need to do. So it was a good lesson, and I'm glad that happened then rather than like later on. So yeah, I kind of missed my running last week. So then this week just gone, I was a bit nervous, but it was a deload week, so the runs were shorter. What I was nervous about was my midweek run, which is like you either get a tempo run or a progression run or things like that. I had a 5-kilometre time trial. I keep wanting to say time trial. No, time trial. A 5-kilometre time trial. I feel like I've just said time trial so many times. Yeah, I had to push the pace the whole time, and I was really nervous for it because I just thought I was going to struggle. Basically, I didn't think I was going to be able to hit the pace that they wanted, and I thought, well, I'm going to do the run anyway, regardless. And it doesn't matter how fast or slow I am, but I'm just going to do my best. And I slightly beat the target pace, only minimally, which is good. So I was really happy with that. I mean, I know for a lot of runners out there, it won't be that significant, but I've only got little legs and I'm not naturally, like I've definitely had to train and work hard to get to this point. Yeah, really chuffed. And then this morning I just took it easy. And yeah, in terms of the diet, I feel so good on this diet that I don't really want to go back, but I know there's like it would be difficult living on this diet. I could literally never eat out. But it has made me think, it has made me question, well, if I'm eating out, you know, this is going to sound so pernickety, but what oils are they cooking my food in? I actually do care about that, because if that's impacting my health, my hormonal health and how I feel every day, do I want to go out and pay all this money to have food that's probably going to make me feel rubbish? Not really. That being said, you know, there's a social aspect of it. So I'm so happy on this AIP diet that I'm not sure about how much I want to go back to how I was eating. Yeah, we'll see. I am looking forward to some dark chocolate if I don't react badly to it. Oh, he's so sleepy. Look at you. Put my teeth down. I'll show my other one as well. Get your butt. There we go. Scooch on up. Bring on week 4. That was week 3, little summary. In a week's time, I'll be looking towards starting to try some foods again. Oh, I am nervous about it. I'm nervous because I know I'm going to eat something and then feel awful and have a huge breakout. Oh, I didn't give you an update on my spots. My skin. I've seen my mum and my mother-in-law this weekend. I saw them both on Friday, and both of them separately commented on my skin. So my mum said I'm glowing, but she said even my eyes are glowing and like my hair, and she's like, have you lost weight? Thinking like I'd lost a lot of weight. But basically I think there was so much inflammation in my skin from, you know, where I was having spots as well. I think that's all reduced massively. So, because I don't think I've lost much weight. That wasn't like my focus with this. I just want to be healthy. And I was feeling so sluggish before that even exercising was difficult. I'm feeling so much more energized, and you know, when I had my time trial on midweek this week, I felt so good doing that. I thought it was going to be awful and I felt really good. I do feel a lot more energized, and yeah, I'm really loving that. So, you know, perhaps I might have lost a little bit of weight, but if I have, it's not significant. But I think I've lost a lot of like inflammation in my face, definitely. And my spots have massively reduced. I've still had some crop up. I think this week I've literally had 2 crop up around here and here. Perhaps, you know, there's only so much my diet's going to fix. Perhaps I do just have to live with this a little bit. But yeah, if I can maintain spots at this level, that's amazing. I mean, I'm not even wearing coverage anymore. I used to put on concealer, or I would use like a heavy foundation, and now I'm just using a tinted serum that's also got hyaluronic acid in. It's really great. My friend bought it for me. It's from L'Oreal. So it's like their tinted serum with 1% hyaluronic acid, and I'm using that. And then just where my spots are, I'll just put powder on there. I don't put powder on the rest of my face, but I'll just put it on where the spots are and, you know, dab that powder in. And that seems to be working amazing. I'm really happy that I'm in a place where it's not that bad anymore, that I can do this. I'm really chuffed that I'm not having to put that amount of coverage on. Yeah, so we'll catch up next week. I'll probably be looking towards starting to try new foods, which is, yeah, really exciting. All right.